button up. Button up. Now, on that note, we talked about CYA. There's a $100 word at the bottom of your page right there. It says importunate misconceptions. That's a fancy way of saying what? That you need to talk to me right now. It's such a rush, it's such a hurry. Oh, we have to talk right now. And the answer to that is no, you don't. No, you don't. You absolutely do not. So, if we get medical and we remain agreeable and we don't say anything and we say we're not going to answer questions and whatever, are we eventually going to answer questions? Do we have to? Legally, do we have to? I don't have to answer anything. Is that what I want to do? In our opinion, we recommend we say no. So I'm going to draw a weird little pie graph. It's not in your handout. I encourage you guys to draw it. It'll make sense here once we fill in some blanks. Here is what happened. That's what happened. That's everything. Okay? And I'm going to draw this into fourths. It's not going to be exactly fourths, but this will make sense. 1/4, we have the bad guy. What is the bad guy going to tell the police? What's he going to tell the police?
I didn't do it.
What's that?
I didn't do it.
Well, he's dead. He's not going to tell him anything, right? You're not going to tell him anything. He's not with us anymore. So, what do we get from him?
No.
0. Okay. Then we got you. And you clam up. So you say, well, I'm not going to tell anybody anything. I'm not going to talk to anybody. Never. So what do they get from you? 0. All right. Then we have witnesses. How reliable are witnesses? What do you guys, I'm seeing everybody do that. What do you think, Shane? If you had to give me a percentage, would you say witnesses are 85% reliable, 50% reliable, 75% reliable, 20% reliable? Give me a number. And I know that's hard. Less than 50. What do you think? 50. What do you think, Mike?
Less than 20.
Mike says less than 20.
It depends. Is it recent or is it over the course of years?
That matters, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, for the purposes of discussion right now, can we, for just talking today, can we say 50? Are you guys okay with that? Let's do that. Let's just say 50. All right, so that kind of sucks, right? What's over here?
Evidence?
Evidence.
Expert testimony.
Physical evidence and technology. So, how many of you guys have ever watched CSI? Who's watched CSI on TV? Everybody's watched CSI, right? And if you watch CSI, you've learned that there is blood, fingerprints, DNA, saliva, semen on everything, right? You've learned that it's on everything. And we can always tie that back to the criminal. You guys think that's true?
No.
It's absolute nonsense. Daniel could own a firearm for 20 years. You could handle that gun every day of your life. Every day. And I get your gun, and I process it, and I don't pull one usable print off of his gun. You guys aware of that? Not one. And he's carried it every day for 20 years. So, okay. What's real popular with police right now? It's the new piece of equipment. Body cameras, yeah. So a healthy adult human being, this is an overhead view, eyes, nose. A healthy adult human being has about 170-degree field of view. That's what a healthy adult has. That's what all you guys have. You guys have not 180, but about 170. What's the field of view on a body cam? How about we just say not 170? How about that? What do you guys think it is? Who thinks it's maybe about 50? Yeah. So it's kind of like looking through a toilet paper tube. Okay? The most popular model of body camera right now is what's called an Axon. And there's a new one coming out that it can not just see, but it can smell. It can detect a sense of smell. Okay? And it's called a fairy tale. There is no body camera that can smell. All right? That's a joke. So if Mark gets into a gunfight with the guy in the 7-Eleven parking lot and that guy smells like alcohol, does that matter?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, the body camera didn't capture that. The surveillance camera didn't capture that, right? You get into a fight with a homeless guy and he clearly smells like body odor and urine. That matters. Shane, you get into a fight with a guy and he reeks of methamphetamine smoke. Does that matter? Is that part of the totality? Yeah, it matters. That camera doesn't capture any of that. It doesn't capture any. So we said we're not going to pull DNA and saliva and blood off of everything. We said we're not going to catch 170 degrees. We're not going to catch the smell. We're not going to catch that. So how good is this? This is good, right? We can get some amazing stuff. What percentage is that? 50? Let's just say 50. Let's just say 50 again. I gotta switch colors here. So what does this pie graph mean? That pie graph means if you don't talk, if you don't ever say anything, what percentage of what happened is the public and the prosecutor and the police? What percentage is it based on? It's based on crappy witnesses and some evidence. You guys cool with that? How many of us want to get our version out there? I want to get my version out there. My version matters. I'm not just going to clam up and stay clammed up forever. Does everybody understand that? Okay? So what? Medical, remain agreeable, transport, and then if we're Mirandized, we're going to invoke it and we're going to be quiet. But eventually, we're going to get our version. I'm not telling you guys to do this. I'm recommending this to you guys. Eventually, we want to get our version out. Wouldn't it be cool if we could fill this in? This wedge of pie up here labeled you. Wouldn't that be cool? What's funny is that's a pretty big piece, isn't it? We're getting your version of events. But we got to be smart. We got to be real smart. One thing we are not going to do, and we are never going to do, ever, is we are not going to go sit for an interrogation. It's not going to happen. Not ever. Not never. Ever. None of you should ever go get interrogated. What do I mean by that? What do you think I mean by interrogation? What do you think that means?
Do you have to agree to an interrogation?
Yeah.
To take this?
Well, let's put it like this. Let me tell you where you can be interrogated. Guantanamo Bay. Okay? That's not what this class is about, so you don't need to worry about that, unless you're in the Taliban and I don't know it. Okay? So, exactly. So, Guantanamo Bay, or where else can I be made to answer questions? In a grand jury where the offense is not related to me. So, if Mike is being investigated by a grand jury where they're determining whether there will or will not be a trial, Mike is being investigated and they call me in as a witness. And they say, how long have you known Mike? And I say, I'm not going to answer that. I can be found in contempt of court, and they're not going to stick needles under my fingernails, but I can be thrown in a cell until I answer those questions. Other than that, I can't be made to talk. No one can make you talk. It can't happen. So when you hear or you see those people and they say, we need you to come down to homicide, we need to talk to you, that's voluntary. That's 100% voluntary. And unless they're putting you in handcuffs and saying you're under arrest, it's totally voluntary. You're not obligated to do that.
So you just say, I'm gonna sit right here?
You say, no. And if they say, well, then you're under arrest, then you say, what, front or back? That's cool. But that's voluntary. That's strictly voluntary. You need to come downtown. We need to talk. We got to get your version. That's nonsense. That's absolute nonsense. So if we're going to give a statement, how do we give a statement? So how many of you guys own a firearm? Who owns a firearm? Okay, awesome. Hands going up. Everybody grab your cell phone.